Welcome to Speed Scene Live TV, the only show dedicated to the sportsman racer. Brought to you by Curry Rear Ends, Hedman Hustler Headers, M&H Tires, and TheFote.com. With your hosts, Diana Might, Bruce Barker, Scott Lucky Hudson, Alex Rogio, Bob Beck, Bryant Layton, with Donnie Couch and Dar Hawthorne.
Wow! Yeah! Just so you know, those were my first words off camera as well, and now they're on camera. And look at this, down in the lower left corner on your viewer, unless you're full screen, the little timer is already counting down to the next show. Wow! Man, that's racing, baby. I'm Bruce Barker, there's Scott Lucky Hudson.
On time, all the time.
Yeah! What, is Donnie Couch here tonight?
I had to bring the cheesecake for Lucky. He's
Of
on
course.
number 3. We'll check in later.
Yeah. Man, I can't believe it. Craft Services right here for little old Speed Scene Live. Hey, let's get this thing kicked off in style, man. Tonight we're going to talk with Donald Long, the mayor, about the Lights Out race. That's coming up this weekend at SGMP, February 22nd, or rather 20th through 23rd. Brian Layton, his first appearance for Speed Scene Live for 2014. He's going to have a little off-road primer coming up for us. Donnie Couch is here. Hey, Donnie, what do you got for us tonight?
Man, we got a jam show as far as I'm concerned. We got John Force on here. Won the Winter Nationals. Got a great interview. We got Chip Poos, Cowboy Bob from Technicode. We've got Dale Worsham, Chad Head. A couple of my favorites, Cade Poe and Maverick Malloy, junior dragster racers. And in the future, you'll remember those names because they'll be in Top Fuel. And hopefully, we'll keep Lucky off the cheesecake long enough to do an interview with him.
What about Industry Hill Speedway? We got some of that going on?
We got, had the 2013. It was right before the end of the year, the Monster Energy. We've got footage of the last 4 laps and the winner, Scotty Nichols, coming up. And it ought to be a great deal. Hopefully, Kelly Inman will be calling in to update us on this year's schedule at Industry Hills Raceway.
Nice. Well, Hot Rod Bob Beck is on assignment tonight, and also Diana Might. She's out as well, but they'll both be back.
Whoa.
Oh, man, that cheesecake's got some bite to it.
Yeah, see what you've done, Donnie?
You're supposed to refrigerate that stuff, aren't you, Donnie?
You know, we're going to be off for a week with the flu or something. Now he's coughing.
Oh, jeez. Hey, Bob and Diana Might will be back next week in all their glory, so make sure you stay tuned. Next week, we will also have the new track manager of the Auto Club Dragway Fontana track. He's going to be live in studio, so if you have any questions about the new sound wall, what's going on at the track, scheduling, he'll be right here. You can ask him any questions. And live in studio, legendary artist Kenny Youngblood.
Oh.
He has a brand new website called FuelCoop.com. Check them out right now. FuelCoop.com is a great new website. Tons of cool stuff. So he'll be in talking about that. Of course, his history with all kinds of doing art on great cars. And last week, Alex, the car girl, Rogio, was live in studio. She did a great job. She talked about being in the running for the champion sweepstakes deal.
Yeah.
And she made the first round. She is in the 15 finalists for the $50,000. That's right, $50,000 grand prize. So we're going to need some more votes. Voting begins again February 21st. There's a link on our Facebook page, and of course, check out her website and her Facebook page, and you'll see links there as well. And let's vote her in, get her that win.
You got it, man. Wow, I know that press release came across the desk a day or two ago, and it's like, sweet! Top 15, man. Hey, want to remind you to come by the Curry Rear Ends Hedman Hustler Headers booth at the March meet. What are you doing in March? See the high-quality products from Curry Rear Ends and Hedman Hustler Headers, and as well, that good stuff from Aero Motive. Pick up a free Speed Scene Live sticker. You can meet Diana Might in person, talk to her nice, and maybe she'll put the sticker on your car for you. The Mach, that's the March meet in Bakersfield. That's March 6th through the 9th. Hey, Donnie, you going to be there with Dar that week? Or rather, right here in the studio? Is that what's going on?
Yeah, we'll be here the Tuesday before the March meet, but we'll also have live coverage in the pits. You know, Chad Reynolds and them guys from Bang Shift Live, they cover the track, but in between rounds, we'll be doing live interviews with all your favorite drivers, and you can text Dar and maybe ask for some special interviews with your favorite driver, but it's going to be exciting. We did it at the reunion. Got a lot of good response from the fans out there, and as well as the racers themselves. So
That's nice.
it's going to be exciting.
I'm trying to remember. Wasn't there some? Let's see. We had Dars something on the show a month or two ago. There was like texts going on. You actually had to text Dar to get something. So you may
Well,
be
we
hanging
were
on to
doing
that.
live text where, if you want an interview with this driver or that driver, they would do it.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
So on bankshiftlive.com, our segment of the deal, Good Vibrations, will be sponsoring that.
Oh,
Yeah, so you can
nice.
get it over
Hey,
the
Donnie,
cheesecake.
isn't that a great company that sells all kinds of cool blower and injection parts?
Well, yeah, I think they're going to be coming on and sponsoring the show here on Speed Scene Live, but I've built a lot of funny cars. They're right down the street from me. They got everything if you're building a nostalgia funny car. I can testify to that. Fuel pumps, injectors, fuel lines, fuel fittings, safety gear, everything. Owned by Jim Mayer, great family guy, and takes care of his customers. And he's putting a lot back into the racers that support him. He's supporting, some of the series and some of the shows. And it's kind of nice. You go out there, and even at the Sand Drags, he was sponsoring the #1 qualifier out there. So he gets involved with a lot of his customers and has a big, wide base in a lot of different countries. So very good company to work with.
Donnie, you were recently out at the NHRA Winter Nationals, and didn't you run into John Force out there?
Well, yeah, at a really nice time, too, after he won the race. The mood had kind of softened because he gets a little tense around there. But
John Force does?
yeah, just a little. But we got up there and got a little footage of the final run and then caught him in the winner's circle when no one else could. He said, hey, Speed Scene Live, need to do an interview with those boys.
Final round, first race of the season, Mellow Yellow. John Ford. Matt Hagan. They're both pre-staged. Both pre-staged. Here we go. They're staged. Here we go, folks. Wow. John Force at 396, 323 miles an hour, and that's a new national record, and he's your Winter Nationals champion. Matt Hagan smoking the tires, but what a matchup here, folks. For Funny Car Final, it's fan favorite John Force. Hey, with the Winter Nationals champion John Force, you pulled it out and the national record, my friend.
Jimmy Proc, Proc's rocket. He's hot. He works with the Brain Trust, Mike Neff and Dean Antonelli and all the guys, Ron Douglas. And the car just came together. It ran good in testing. It ran here. That car probably ran 93. You know what I mean? 94, because I was in deep. And I've been going deep. That Hagan, he's good. Him and Robert are the two baddest out here. I can't compete with him. I got to cheat that light.
Little redemption from the World Finals with Matt Hagan, but John Force, Winter Nationals champion.
They said Hagan's all muscles, and boy, they're right. But Jimmy Proc was all muscle today.
Wow, what a great interview.
Well, it's kind of hard to catch John. He's a media guy, and they were rushing him up to the tower, and he's pretty dedicated to giving us here at Speed Scene Live an interview. He did it last year when Matt Hagan beat him in the finals. It wasn't the best of time, but he had also won the championship. Lost the race, won the championship, gave us a great interview. So
You know what I noticed, Donnie? John Force talks to you like he's talking to a friend, not like he's talking to ESPN or Fox News. He's got like a different attitude. He just sort of softens his personality a little bit, and he just kind of talks to you like a friend.
I've been through a lot with John. I was there when he first drove his first car in like 1971 or 2 at Irwindale, and we've always been friends and had friends of friends, and he's always been good to me. He's been good to my family, and John Force is a first-class act down there. And of course, we go to Yorba Linda down there and, enjoy his car shows and such, but can't find a better guy.
Well, now, who else did you run into out there at the
Hey.
Winter Nationals?
How about this? We got Chip Foose, right?
Ah.
Yeah, right? He's very popular guy, but he's teamed up with Cowboy Bob. Cowboy Bob's with the Coletta crew, sponsors him. He owns Technicoat out of Las Vegas, Nevada, and they do a lot of the flooring for all the businesses, casinos, pools, and waterproofing, and painting your shop floors and stuff. They've come up with a new item, like a fuel saver, fuel mileage, kind of lower your carbon footprint, if you would. And Chip's getting involved. So with those two getting involved and hooked up together for the future, I know Chip doesn't endorse too many things unless, they're good. So let's check it out.
Donnie Couch for Speed Scene Live. I'm here with Exhibit from Pimp My Ride. Oh, Chip Foose and Cowboy Bob. What are you guys doing together? I mean, there's no cops around here, but soon there should be.
Imagine that. Could you believe that? They'll be here because of you, my friend.
Chip, you hanging around the Coletta camp. We know you designed the paint job and stuff on the dragster and #1 qualifier, and they're moving on to the finals. But
I've actually been coming to the drag since 1966. My father was involved with, I don't know if you remember a car called the Piranha from AMT.
Absolutely.
My dad was involved with that team. He painted that car. I remember my very first race was in Phoenix in 1966. I've been a fan since.
Wow. So what are we doing over here with Cowboy Bob, though? Something looks suspicious when you two are together.
Yeah, well, you know what's amazing is you're always told that you want cold fuel going into your vehicle. Well, Bob and his associates have developed a new system that actually preheats the fuel and catalyzes it before it goes into the carburetor or the injectors. And they actually installed one on my truck. We're talking about what they're doing next here, and we're actually possibly forming an association here. We'll all be involved because they installed one on my truck, and I'm absolutely impressed. I've got it's got a governor on it. It's a Ford F-150. It's a Foose edition with the blower on it. Now, that governor stops my truck at 94 miles an hour. It's actually running at 97 top speed. I haven't done it on the freeways yet.
Yeah, sure, sure.
But I'm impressed. I've also increased my fuel mileage by 2 miles a gallon.
So we're looking at lowering the carbon footprint with this deal. Gasoline, diesel.
That's right, Donnie. What we're doing is that we're lowering the emissions of all carbon-based fuels. What we're doing is we're actually breaking that fuel and pulling the hydrogens and the O2s out. And those O2s that are in there that are difficult to get out, like a 13 or a 12, we're literally burning them in the cylinder. And we're reducing the emissions so much is that a lot of catalytic converters have a hard time lighting to burn because there's nothing to burn. Our main focus is emissions. It is a sustainable green product. There's no additives. You put the car on, you put this device on, it lasts on the vehicle, the car, the truck, for the life of the vehicle. We give a lifetime warranty on it.
You know, I've got a stock Ford F-150, like I said, with a blower, and you can hear it running right over here. And the only difference is this fuel technology added to it.
So, Chip, in this relationship, you guys are dancing around. You're in your honeymoon stage. You guys looking to partner up on this?
Yeah, I think so, because, you know, I'm a fan already. They put one on my truck, like I said. It's amazing. You know, it's just you put it into the water line, so you're preheating the unit, and then the fuel goes through, so you're actually warming up that fuel and catalyzing it as it goes through. And as Bob was telling you, it's breaking up the hydrocarbons, and it's running cleaner. We're getting more mileage per gallon and actually more horsepower. It's phenomenal.
Now, Bob, how'd you get involved in?
There's a gentleman by the name of Scott Toucher that him and I became friends about 3 years ago, and he was tied up with several people that were just not reputable, and he wanted out. So he approached me, and I had a couple of ducats, and we decided to make this thing go. And we put the money into the research and all the time and effort into R&D, and we've come up with a winner. And we've been testing it religiously on every facet, on just testing the fuel after it goes through the CFT device, which is called a fuel converter. And we've had spectacular results. We have had more inquiries happen after we have sent out, I'd say about 500,000. It's coming in like gangbusters. It's going to launch super big. I am waltzing with Chip and his agent Carson. We are going to come to a deal. He's my friend as well. I couldn't possibly want anybody else involved with this venture. With him, his reputation, his talent, it's just a win-win deal. Absolutely win.
Well, we know it's a winner if Chip Foose is going to stand behind it. He stands a lot around your show and all your sponsors there. I mean, you really stick by what good products are.
Well, I'm only going to endorse something that I truly believe in. Now, what was amazing to me is when I met Scott, you know, I had one question for him first. What was the inspiration, the idea for it? And Scott told me that he taught automotive classes, and he wanted to prove and show the students that you can't preheat fuel and what it would do to a car if you preheated it. So he made a unit to preheat it, and he put it originally on a little 2-liter Mazda, and he said he pulled out of the driveway and spun the rear tires. He said, "What did I do wrong?" And that's how he came up with it. He developed it. He actually had put some screens in there that were actually catalyzing the fuel, and they've been doing all these testings and finding out exactly what it's doing, and it's phenomenal. He was telling me a story about they put it on a locomotive, a giant train. They put a unit on a train,
Really?
and they're actually saving 10 gallons of fuel an hour on that train.
Now, when you put it on your F-150, what type of installation, how long did it take you?
Scott actually came out and installed the unit on the truck, and I would say he was probably 20, 30 minutes. And the biggest problem was finding the tools that he needed. He was on the set of overhauling, and we put it on the unit, pulled it out, and same thing, spun the tires down the street.
Oh, that's great. Well, for Speed Scene Live, I'm Donnie Couch, Chip Foose, and Cowboy Bob there. Look for them in the future. We don't have any details on their website coming out, but look for this partnership to go forward. And watch Speed Scene Live for future details on the website where you can learn more about these products.
Oh man, I love me that innovation. You know, it's funny. There's been this and that and the other thing, fuel additives as well as clamp-on devices that you put on a fuel line, magnetic things, all this stuff they've developed throughout the years. So much of it is snake oil, and to see something actually working is way cool. I don't know. I'm jazzed about that.
Well, you know, like I said, it's not like a performance advantage type of thing. It's
Right.
more of reducing your carbon footprint. And
Which is all good. You know, the more we can do that, the better motorsports looks.
going green.
That's
Well,
right,
look
buddy.
at Speed Scene Live green logo behind me. So that proves we're going green. Yeah.
Well, I think in order to get some green, we should take a commercial break.
Nice tie-in.
And when we come back, we've got more right here on Speed Scene Live.
Excellent. Speed Scene Live. Keep it here.
At Aeromotive, we believe that performance means reliability, longevity, and durability. Being the best is no secret. By utilizing aerospace processes, procedures, technology, in-house engineering, true applications knowledge, and 3 generations of track experience, it's easy to see why we're the best. We take great pride in the fact that everything we sell, we design and make in the USA. See our entire line of fuel pumps and related products by logging on to aeromotiveinc.com. Aeromotive. We know it, we race it, we live it.
60 years. That's a long time for a company to do any one thing. Doing it right while sticking to your founding values. Now that takes hard work and dedication. For 60 years, Hedman's all-American workforce has been devoted to manufacturing the very best headers any team of craftsmen can build. That's 60 years of cutting, 60 years of bending, 60 years of welding, more than 2 million in all. And every set made right here at home. At Hedman Headers, we build all American horsepower, then back it up for life. Hedman Headers, made in the USA.
I'm Chip Foose here in Pomona at the drag races with Cowboy Bob, and you're watching Speed Scene Live.
Welcome back to more of Speed Scene Live, the #1 online drag racing TV show. Brought to you by Curry Rear Ends, M&H Tires, Hedman Hustler Headers, and TheFoat.com.
Welcome back to the show, Speed Scene Live. I'm Lucky. Over there, Bruce Barker, Donnie Couch live and in studio. And don't forget, we have a brand new serving setup. So streaming serve, well, whatever that's called.
It's the cheesecake, man.
Yeah, it's the cheesecake.
Have
we're
another
serving
serving of
cheesecake is what he
Yeah.
meant to say.
Yeah, thanks for the craft services there.
You know,
Donnie.
I know people think we're joking about the cheesecake.
And how many pieces is that, Lucky?
You know, it's better not to count, Donnie. You know,
Okay.
when you're riding that sugar high, you just ride it all the way to the end.
Yeah.
Hey, we got that new streaming deal. It's been working great. If you have any problems, let us know. There is a short commercial when you log on, but that's about it. Might be a little pop-up here and there, but for the most part, it's easy, breezy, no hassle.
Yeah, yeah. And if you do hate the pop-ups, again, we mentioned this last week or the week before, go full screen, and that way they'll be really tiny and you won't see them. So,
Nice,
just
nice.
a thought. So, yeah.
Hey, Donnie, we got a bunch of cool stuff, and you brought some great content, and I know that you want to talk about the March meet. However, I got to ask you, because you were at Barrett-Jackson, there's this whole thing with the snake and the mongoose, the coolest thing ever. Prudhomme took the funny cars, the 2 Hot Wheel funny cars, the 2 tow trucks, ramp trucks that they rode on, which when you were in high school, you actually rode in the trucks.
All summer.
Yeah, working
All
on the
summer.
funny cars. And Prudhomme restored them, put them up for auction, and sold them at Barrett-Jackson. Tell us a little bit about this.
Well, we got down there on Saturday. The truck and cars actually went on the block on Sunday. But on Saturday, we got down there, and the tension was building a little, and they were having an autograph session. And, I mean, the people that came by to support Prudhomme, Chip Ganassi and Robbie Gordon and Jeff Gordon and, Rick Hendricks, Bill Simpson. I mean, the who's who of racing came there to support Don Prudhomme. Well, Sunday, before going on the blocks, we warmed it. Snake wasn't happy with the brake system. So we had to redo the brake system. Well, Snake's been retired for a while, and he's been real fun to hang around with and go to concerts with and dinners with the wives because he's not racing. Well, it was like we were at the final round at Indy. Snake was a little tense, and he was pretty wound up.
You're saying he was less fun when he's going, Donnie, the brakes aren't working.
Yeah, well, the thing about the brakes working is Snake, we fired that thing out in the staging lanes, which is a covered area, and he drove that car on nitro onto the blocks.
Wow.
And to a packed audience, and it was like being at a rock concert. When he shut it off, the applause and standing ovation he got.
That's got to be the only nitro funny car ever driven on the block at Barrett-Jackson.
Well,
I bet you're right.
The thing was, they had him started up, and the other cars weren't clear yet. I don't think they had their timing right. And Snake was sitting there. We were under an awning, and the nitro fumes were getting to him. Now, he didn't have a fire suit or a helmet or nothing on. He just put his street clothes on and, was sitting in that car, and he, it was bothering him. And he was romping that car at the throttle, trying to get it up on the blocks. And, the staging guy standing in front of the car, and I was behind the car thinking, man, this guy doesn't know what he's in for, standing in front of Prudhomme when Prudhomme wants to get somewhere. He's going, But ended up selling the cars for $1 million. Rick Hendricks bought it, so it's still in the racing family, and they'll be on display in Charlotte, North Carolina, Rick Hendricks Museum, and Snake's going to go there a couple times a year, and they'll have some showings and autograph sessions.
And again, the cars and the haulers were a package deal?
All four pieces of equipment, which was Prudhomme's funny car, his truck, McEwen's funny car, and that old truck, which all of them were original except for McEwen's funny car was a replica. They couldn't find all the right pieces, but everything else on the truck and trailer and Snake's yellow Barracuda, absolutely to each bolt was original.
And not only are they original, but you're buying them from Don Prudhomme.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah, I mean, talk about a leather of authenticity.
Talk about documented history, because I lived it, so it was pretty emotional thing for me to be down there with Prudhomme. And my father had driven those trucks. I had driven both those trucks in the 70s. And I started driving the truck. I got a ticket in it in Ohio Turnpike when I was 15. And
Dang,
Bob
man.
Brandt, his crew chief at that time, had to do a little bit of explaining.
Now, last year at the March meet, Don Prudhomme was out there, and I was talking a little bit off camera, and he mentioned something about you and the trucks and some trophy girls, and he started to get into it, and you came over and said, "Hey, come on, Don." But I just wondered if you wanted to expand on that.
No, well, the only reason I stopped the whole conversation, I don't want the show to be just about me. There's guests
gotcha.
and Prudhomme. There's more history there, so I don't want it to be about me, Lucky.
I'm guessing maybe there was Bible study going on, you and a girl discussing the New Testament, perhaps.
I was getting my badges for my Cub Scout team, my Weeblos badge for being on tour.
Now, technically, it did not sell on the auction, though, right? Because wasn't there a... How did that work? There was
a reserve, and
like $1 million.
$1,000,001, okay, and the bidding was $1 million. So we rolled off the stage, and the people that are good friends with Snake said, "Hey, you need to pull a reserve off. You don't want to take all this stuff home and sit at it and look at it. You've already done enough with it with the movie and all these appearances." He lifted the reserve and found out that the highest bidder was Rick Hendricks. So pretty emotional moment for everybody involved.
And it went for $1 million exactly.
$1 million exactly.
Dang.
Kind of what Bruce makes per show here.
Sure. Yeah, that's me. How'd you know?
I got a question on the crew updater on thefote.com. And what was the ratio of nitro? Was he 98%?
No, it was 85% in the car.
85% nitro, which is a huge amount for driving up on an auction block.
Well, steel block and steel heads, and everything's original like it was back in the day. So, water in the block, and
wow,
everything's original. Deep black.
Speaking of the March meet, you also had an opportunity to. Is he going to drive it up right now?
I think this might.
This is a practice run that they did.
Okay.
Nobody was really there, but if you kind of watch this thing, he was having trouble with the transmission and stuff, and he rolls it up there. And interesting that if you see a guy standing behind the car holding his cell phone up, videoing it, that's Craig Jackson from Barrett Jackson. So there he is right there rolling up.
That's
so
great.
Pretty interesting deal. Everybody was really elated about this move. It's never been done. I don't think it'll ever be done again.
No way. No way.
So this was after you guys got the brakes working again?
No, this is actually during the week when nobody was there. They just wanted to see how it was going to work.
This is when he said, you know what, the brakes don't work.
That's when I got yelled at.
Yeah, you go stand in front of the car and let me rev it up.
Yeah, there's Craig Jackson right there walking up with his camera taking footage. How's that, folks? Pretty serious stuff right there.
Man, that is awesome. Hey, speaking of the March meet, though, didn't you run into somebody talking about the March meet?
Hey, how about the track operator, Blake Bowser? Of course, the Bowser family runs that track. And, he's called into the show a bunch and given tickets away. He's done this and that, and everything's been over the phone. Finally nabbed him so our Speed Scene fans could see what this guy's all about and what he looks like. Hey, Donnie Couch for Speed Scene Live. Look who we run across here at the Winter Nationals. Vice President of Auto Club Famosa, Blake Bowser. Blake, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Well, normally you call into the show and nobody can see your face, so now they know who to look for at the track.
Yeah.
But, hey, we got the March meet coming up, right?
We're getting close. March 6 through 9, about 4 weeks away. Yeah, we're getting close.
Change the format a little. I know you added the fuel altered show, which you never had.
Yeah, we're adding that this year. We are seeing a little decline in front motor top fuel cars, so the fans deserve nitro. So we're bringing in a 8-car fuel altered show.
Of course, we already know we're going to have 38 to 40 funny cars there. We'll have pretty much a full show of top fuel, but to add the fuel altered show, boy, that's Southern California stuff there.
That's old school all the way. That's what we're hearing. It's Orange County. So that's what we're trying to do. So yeah, just the fans deserve a good nitro count, so we're bringing in more fuel cars. So we're excited.
Yeah. So anyway, Friday, 2 qualifying runs on Friday, 1 on Saturday.
Yes.
Saturday night, going to first round.
First round of funny car. Yeah, first round for the altereds and top fuel will be on Sunday. We are adding also, we did a Bakersfield Boise Blitz last year with Firebird Raceway in Boise, Idaho. We're adding a shootout for those top 8 finishers during the qualifying for the March meet this year. So a special payout during qualifying for those guys.
Well, of course, there's nothing better than nitro under the lights Saturday night, but then they come back Sunday, got the fuel show, they crown the champions, fans come down in the victory circle. It's pretty exciting stuff.
Absolutely, and 500 race cars on the property, too. So a total of 500 competitors that weekend. Great weekend of racing.
Wow, so that's the March meet, folks. You got to make it. And, hey, Blake, what's going on the rest of the summer? You do a lot of funny car action up there.
We will run 2 Saturday night shows, one in June, one in September. We've got Super Chevy Show, Fun Ford, Mega Mopar, a full schedule starting in next weekend, which is February, all the way through November.
All right, so that's Blake Bowser. You're watching Speed Scene Live, and we'll give you all the details of Auto Club Famosa action on Speed Scene Live each week. So, Blake Bowser, thanks for being on the show.
Thanks, Donnie. Right. Thanks, guys.
And now, of course, the Curry rear ends booth will be out there. We'll have Hedman Hustler headers. We'll have Aeromotive fuel system products. all kinds of cool stuff on display. Come on by. Who knows? Who knows if everything lines up and you're just lucky enough, you might get a chance to run into Donnie Couch. Donnie Couch filming. Well, he'll be doing stuff for Bang Ship, but he'll be doing interviews. So whenever they need him, which is quite often, you'll be there.
Well, I'm going to do the announcing up in the tower with Mike English. We're doing Bang Ship Live with Jan Reynolds and all them, and then speed scene coverage of all the winners, the winner circle shots, as we did at the reunion.
It's going to be a great, great week of racing, and we're going to have a great time. And I know that you and Donnie will be here in 2 weeks doing a Nitro preview.
You mean Dar? Mr. Hawthorne?
Yeah.
Mr.
How did I
Hawthorne.
forget that name?
I don't know. He's everywhere.
He's
Mr. Funny Car.
Mr. Dar Hawthorne.
Mr. Dar Hawthorne. Okay. Don't get it wrong. It upsets him.
Well, let's bring on Bryant Layton, who he's going to give us the off-road report. Bryant, welcome to Speed Scene Live.
Hey, it's great to be back, you guys. Another year. Let's do this.
Yeah, we're looking forward to it. What happened to your guest, Ryan Arciera?
Ryan ended up having a sponsorship meeting tonight. He leaves on this weekend for San Felipe, which is the first stop of the Score Series that actually I'm leaving on a Friday night to go down and pre-run. I'm making my return to Baja this year with a Class 8 truck, which I'm really excited about. And we are pre-running, we're just pre-running this weekend, and then Ryan's staying down there all weekend long pre-running. And he's going to be back on. The race is a week from this Saturday. He's down there for a long time pre-running. That's what the champions do. And we're going to have him on the week after the race, which will be 2 weeks from tonight, talking about his race. And I'm also going to have in-car footage of the race truck I'm in also, the Class 8 truck. And we're really excited about it, and I apologize to all the fans out there that Ryan couldn't make it on tonight. He's very, very sorry about it, but we understand without sponsors, none of us can really do this sport.
Well, the sponsors are very important. Hey, Brian, while I got you on the line, since you are our off-road expert, I understand that the Mint 400 race is coming up March 15th, and they've got Parnelli Jones as the Grand Marshal. Have you ever competed in the Mint 400?
Yeah, I have a couple times with Binge Racing and the Jeep Speed, and then last year I went down to Chase Sport through Transwest Ford for the Class 1 cars that they sold. I don't know if the guys are racing it this year. I'm going to try to make it down there for the Mint. The Mint's so legendary, alone in itself, and since the Martelli brothers took over the ownership of it, they have Best in Desert host the race. It's absolutely amazing. The party down on Fremont Street and everything like that. You see the race cars, and they do a pit crew challenge. If you're in Vegas that week of the 15th, you definitely got to go down to Fremont on Friday and see what's going on.
That's what we need, Donnie. We need to bring our race cars down to Fremont Street, set them all up, fire up some nitro under the light show canopy, and then hit all the bars all up and down the street.
I don't want to go down there because Brian Layton's already contacted me. He wants me to get in one of those off-road trucks, take a ride. I don't know about
Donnie,
that.
That's what the four racing program. The four racing stands for Family Off-Road Enthusiasts. And Julie, who's headed up now, contacted me. I'm the announcer actually for the series. It's all out in Glen Helen, and they do the short course track. And then they go up through the mountains of Glen Helen, and it's an absolute blast. We're going to have Julie on here in the next couple months talking about it. But, yeah, that offer still stands.
Well, some other friends of mine, I mentioned it to them, hey, I'm hooked up with Brian Layton. We're going to go in this off-road truck. They go, stay away from him.
Brian, just one quick question while Donnie's still on the fence. How many bones have you broken off-road racing?
Let's see, the back twice, the knee twice, the shoulder.
You getting the idea there, Donnie?
Yeah, I'm all over it, Brian. I was, I had a beer with them down at Saboba Sand Races, and I was scared. This guy makes coffee nervous.
Just wait, Donnie. It's a whole new type of people hanging out with the off-roaders. And what's funny is all us off-roaders look at you guys in these track cars going, these guys are nuts. You guys are going that fast, that quick. But it's a nice open desert, 130 miles an hour, 750 horsepower pushing you.
Well, Donnie,
3-foot whoops.
I've invited Bryant to come up to the March meet because he's never been. I've invited him to come on up, hang out with us, see some nitro cars go down the track.
He's one of those guys. Huh?
You know, I said, you got to come out. You got to see it. You won't believe it. You know, Bryant, you can't even walk the whole event in one day.
Hey, I just got to tell you, I met him at Taboba. We're always on the show together, but never met. We had a good time, had a couple drinks. Got him loosened up to where he actually signed an autograph for me on my shirt. And I still have it. Got it hanging on the wall, the Hall of Fame wall at home.
Did he
I'm
ask?
going to do my best to make it out there for the March meet. It is the weekend before the Mint. You know, got my family.
You are not going to be there, but invitation stands.
Invitation stands. Bryant, we'll talk to you next week then. We'll catch up to you next week. Appreciate you calling in, and you give Ryan our best.
Will do. Talk to you guys the next week and the week after.
All right, sounds great. Hey, you know what? It's great to hear about the off-road. It's great to hear about the drag racing. You know, last year I spent a lot of time out at the Industry Hills Speedway track and had a ball. And Donnie, when does that season start up again?
Well, I think in April, but I think Kelly Inman's on the line. We got a little footage from the Monster Energy finals there that was in December, so we'll have to get with him on the exact dates. But what a great time, a great track and facility. Kelly Inman and Carol Perez, just unbelievable facility.
Well, let's bring him on. Kelly, welcome to Speed Scene Live.
Hey guys, how you doing? Glad to be back.
We're glad you're here. I understand that your Monster Invitational was just crazy successful.
It was a super good event. It was well attended. We just had some incredible racing. I mean, every single race from the first one was just edge of your seat, stand up stuff. It was great. We had it was a hugely successful night, I can say that.
Now, I was just asking Donnie, when does the season start up again? When can we start going out and watching more Speedway?
We actually start on May 28th, and then we go for we'll have 13 regular nights of racing, and then we have a couple of special events that we're still working on that'll be announced soon, and really looking forward to another great year.
Hey, well, we've got some footage here, Kelly, coming up of the last race of that when Scotty Nichols won it from England, and it was great to see him win. What a sportsman he is. So, well, let's go show the video and stay on the line there, Kelly.
And Charlie, the edge of the Venegas. Here we go. Here we go. Whoa, here comes Nichols. Here comes Nichols. Gennaro, Nichols. Oh, and Venegas right in there. Oh, what a ride this is. Scotty Nichols getting out. Here comes Gennaro. Oh, 2 more laps. Charlie, Edge Venegas throwing it in there. Scotty Nichols out front. Oh, final lap, final lap. Scotty Nichols. Hey, Donnie Couch for Speed Scene Live, Monster Energy Invitational, Suffolk, England. Scotty Nichols. My God, what a race!
Oh, it was awesome. It's pretty spectacular the first time out. Obviously, you know, I certainly took fortune and the misfortunes of Darcy and Billy, but you know, that's racing, and yeah, I was certainly happy to have another stab at it and to come away with a victory. So happy man.
Yeah, Darcy and them were going at it pretty hard. Of course, Gennaro's, you know, defending champion here, and hard to beat at this track. But you got another chance, like you said. So.
Yeah, God, yeah. I mean, off gate 1 as well, especially. You know, I have to be honest. I think if Billy had been on his own equipment, it would have been certainly a tougher story. But yeah, I mean, Billy and Darcy, I think, were the two that probably were a little bit above the rest tonight. But like I say, it's racing. Darcy made a mistake. Unfortunately for Billy, couldn't go on his own equipment, but I took full advantage of that and just delighted to be the champion tonight. Last year was an All-American final, so it was nice to have a couple of us foreigners in there.
Well, we're delighted to have you on the podium and for you to come back this year. So here's our champion this week.
Thank you.
Hey.
It's been a pleasure. Thank you.
Thanks for coming out and making the trip over the pond, huh?
Oh, it's a big pond as well.
It's a big pond, and we had some good weather for you, so.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, the Stony Coucher Speed Scene Live, Monster Energy Speedway Final here tonight, folks.
Kelly, Donnie just did a great interview with your champion, and you had racers from all different countries. Do you remember some of the countries that showed up to compete?
Yeah, I mean, it was Scotty Nichols that won was from England. He's a 7-time British champion. We had Darcy Ward, which was the other foreigner in the main event. He's from Australia, but competing all throughout Europe in the World Championship Series. He's a 2-time under 21 world champion. Then we had Poland and another one from England, Chris Harris. And then Poland, and it was it was something else. We've got a lot of guys that are interested in coming over and doing it, and actually this event we had the field kind of set up, and then towards the end of the season that they're racing over in Europe, we had a few of the guys get injured pretty bad, being Ty Woofington, the current world champion, and then a few guys that their plans had changed, so they couldn't make it over, and it was a little bit of a scramble to get the program together, but it was a super good field. You know, we had Hans Andersen from Denmark was here, so it was just a good representation of international racing, and it was really good that there was a couple of international riders in the final, and Darcy Ward actually in the first start of that main event, Billy Gennaro was leading it. Darcy Ward was going a little faster than him and touched his back wheel and caused a crash, and Darcy got excluded, unfortunately. But like Scotty said in the interview, that's racing, and it was super exciting, and it was great for Speedway here that a international rider won it. You know, it's tough for those guys to come over here and race on the smaller track and adapt to the way it is here when our guys are racing every week on this size track. You know, Scotty actually had flown in just the night before, did an hour of practice, and then he actually I had to get him a ride to LAX. He got on a plane about midnight right after that event, after he won, and headed back out.
Pretty busy night for you, Kelly. I know that Friday night you guys let the riders in on there in a little test session. Darcy Ward didn't show up till after the session was open or closed, and then he got about 4 or 5 laps on there and felt pretty comfortable. It was pretty impressive. And what was more impressive was the respect that all the riders had for each other and the camaraderie. I mean, Gennaro and Darcy Ward getting into it, and I interviewed them both, and they had mutual respect for each other, and that's just a racing accident. But probably the best night of racing I've ever seen at Speedway.
Yeah, it was good. It was really good. And you're correct. Darcy had actually just flown in from Australia, and he, because he had the flight that he had to take, he went to, I think it was through China. So he was on the plane for about 26 hours. He landed at like 6:15 at LAX and called me for directions and got a taxi cab to the track. Never even looked at the track, just got his gear on and fired up the bike and asked me where the gate was to get onto the track. And it was really impressive, you know. And all those riders, they do have the utmost respect for each other, and everybody's there to help each other out and put on a good show. And that's what we want to do, is just expose some good racing to more fans outside of the standard Speedway crowd that's there. You know, there's a lot of race fans in the States, and we just want to show them some good close racing.
Well, we can see that at Industry Hills every Wednesday night. And Kelly, when is the first night? You're back in May 28th, I think you said?
May 28th we start, yes. And,
so it's every Wednesday night?
And we'll be there. We come on down every week. We like to get there early, get some of that good food. A lot of times you have a live band, or you got some cool cars on display. And then, of course, for the adults, there's several locations to buy a cold, frosty adult beverage and watch the racing. It's a very nice family atmosphere, lots of kids, lots of people in a good mood, and we go every week during the season.
Hey, Kelly, we appreciate you calling in. We'd like to have you in on the show when you get closer to the start of your season. Right now, we're going to get to one of your favorites, Maverick Malloy, who races Speedway out there, but got a little coverage out there at the Winter Nationals for the Junior Dragsters. So, Kelly, thanks for being on the show and calling in, and wish you good luck this year, my friend.
Hey, thanks a lot, guys. I really appreciate it, and Speed Scene Live for the support all year long. It's incredible, and we can't thank you enough. And anybody wants to check it out, IndustryRacing.com has our schedule for 2014, and you could get on the mailing list and keep up to date on all the current stuff going on.
All right, Kelly. Well, thanks again, and we'll see you soon, my friend.
I'll see you guys soon.
Thank you, Kelly. Once again, IndustryRacing.com. Check them out online, bookmark it, make sure that you're there when they open up, just like we will be. Hey, Donnie, you're talking about Maverick Malloy and
Cade Poe.
Yeah, 2 champions.
Well, Mavericks won 3 or 4 Wallies. Cade Poe is your Western Conference champion back-to-back. And these two are good friends. Their fathers are both firemen. That's the connection there. They hang out, and I guarantee you'll be seeing these boys in the future in Top Fuel. Donnie Coucher, Speed Scene Live. I'm here with Cade Poe, 2-time Western Conference champion, and his buddy, Maverick Malloy. Maverick, you got some Wallies, huh?
Yeah, I have a couple.
Got that new car, nice new paint job, sponsored. Prolong. You got to go after your buddy Cade, though, right?
Yeah, we're gonna hopefully have some fun this year.
Cade, champion out here, back-to-back champion. How's it feel, buddy?
Feels great to be do it one more time. Nobody usually does it, and it just, I don't like to be in the same class as Maverick because I don't like to race him that much.
Well, you guys are buddies, right? Yeah. Okay, so who can win in a fist fight or wrestling? Which one of you can take each other? Look at Mav, huh? Nothing? You got nothing? Hey, well, these guys are 2 good buddies. They're starting off in Junior Dragster, and never know how far they'll take it, but I'm pretty sure with their parents' drive, they're going to be in Top Fuel down the road, folks. For Cade Poe, Maverick Malloy, I'm Donnie Coucher, Speed Scene Live.
Man, Donnie, what a great interview. Those guys are so much fun to watch. I know that when I see them driving their cars. In fact, Bruce, I think you even had some tidbits that they were recently racing their cars out at Irwindale from Catherine Rao Photography.
That's right.
And I think she shot some footage. And, of course, both the cars are running Speed Scene Live stickers. We want to thank them for that.
Yeah, well, that's how they're getting their victories.
Oh,
you know.
Yeah, in fact, I see the sticker right behind the thrush head, although that's referred to as other things as well. But
yeah, Speed Scene Live. This is Maverick Malloy.
We want to thank Catherine Rao from Catherine Rao Photography, who also happens to be the official Fontana photographer for 2014.
Nice.
Yeah.
You know, there's nothing better than junior drag racing with the families out there. And, you know, my daughter did it briefly, and then we let Maverick race our car or her car, and got to meet a lot of great families out there, the Malloys and the Poes. And, you know, this is the grassroots. This is where it started. Spencer Massey and Leah Pruitt. A lot of champions
Morgan
out
Lucas.
there today. Morgan Lucas.
Yeah.
A lot of champions today got their training there, and I could see how much training they got and how efficient it was later on in life.
And, you know, it's great to get the family involved, get kids hooked on racing early, keep young people coming in. And, you know, it's just an important way to just keep the whole program going, keep everything healthy, and these kids learn good sportsmanship, and they learn killer driving skills.
Yeah, this is two of the greatest families that I've ever been around, the Poes and the Malloys. And really have a lot of fun with their kids, and my kids have fun with their kids, and good family fun environment out there, and barbecuing, and of course no cigars on the show tonight because of the kids were on, so I refrained from my cigar.
Man, you are a man of integrity.
I know.
Hey, speaking of integrity, let's take a quick commercial break so we maintain our integrity. And when we come back, we've got more with Donnie Couch, Bruce Barker, and me, Speed Scene Live.
For over half a century, Currie rear-end components have been twisting out the torque and taking the punishment. And the new Currie lineup is stronger than ever. Some of the world's most capable, hardest-working vehicles depend on Currie gears, which is why you can too. Street cars, hot rods and resto rods, drag cars, rock-crawling four-wheel drive vehicles, whatever you're piloting, Currie expertise and rock-solid design means the parts will do their job, so you can do yours. Check out Currie's custom rear ends, featuring a full line of upgrades, components, and installation options. The Currie Crate rear ends lineup offers ultra-strong construction on third members and carrier assemblies. And other underside parts, like correct link steering systems, keep your four-wheeler pointed where you want it. Add in a wide variety of solid, purpose-built suspension and brake components, and you've got one tough, ready-to-go machine. Grab a hold of a Currie rear end. Talk to the experts at 714-367-2679 or view the complete line online at CurrieEnterprises.com.
M&H Tires, makers of racing tires that give you the best bite for the buck. You've paid a lot for that horsepower. Make sure you use it all. M&H Tires has the best compounds available for maximum traction. Go to mandhtires.com. That's mandhtires.com. Buy direct and save at the website and mention the Speed Scene for a 5% discount. That's right, mandhtires.com. Call them at 661-324-4773. M&H Tires has tech guys ready to answer your questions or to recommend the best tire for you. Slicks or DOT. M&H Tires has it all. M&H were the first to create racing tires for muscle cars and also the first to create racing tires for sport compact cars. Legendary M&H Tires. Shop online. Mention the Speed Scene and save 5%. Get the best racing tires, great personal service, and save 5%. Go to mandhtires.com or call them at 661-324-4773. MNHTires.com.
Everyone in the armed forces that has served to defend our great country and our freedom, all of us here in the United States of America would like to offer our sincere appreciation for all that you do and all that you've done. To every family that has made a sacrifice for us, we thank you.
I'm Cade Poe. I'm Maverick Malloy. And you're watching Speed Scene Live.
Welcome back to more of Speed Scene Live, the #1 online drag racing TV show. Brought to you by Currie Rear Ends, M&H Tires, Hedman Hustler Headers, and thefolk.com.
And we are back, and it's a good thing we are. Because if I wasn't back here, I don't know where I'd be. Isn't that right, Donnie Count?
Yeah, that's it. But, hey, we got Chad Head coming up. We caught on to him at the Winter Nationals and talking a little bit about Big Show racing and nostalgia racing.
Donnie Couch, your Speed Scene Live here at the Winter Nationals. Here, with one of our favorites, Chad Head. Chad, we haven't seen you out of the nostalgia races. Looks like you're having an awful good time in your dad's funny car.
Yeah, I really miss going to the nostalgia races, and the construction business is getting in the way of that, but that's a good thing because that's affording us to race. Without construction, we don't get to come out here and play, but I really, really, really miss it, and I love all the folks out there, and hopefully we could get back to the March meet or the Hot Rod Reunion someday soon.
Well, you come out here and run an 07. Where did that put you?
Yeah, I ended up 7th. I clicked it a little early. It was headed pretty hard to the center line, welded pretty bad there about half track, and I might have been able to go to another 50 feet, but it's either 50 feet or maybe hit the cone, so I decided to lift. And so we could have been 6th. Whatever. Hey, I didn't knock the front end off of it and didn't get yelled at. I mean, I still got yelled at, but I didn't get yelled at for hitting anything.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Well, I mean, you're new to this whole deal anyway. You got in the nostalgia car, fairly successful there. I know you want to run that some more, but you're at the business end of this deal, quite a bit more horsepower. How's that feel?
It feels good. I'm just trying to not drive above my ability. My ability, I know what it is. I've been around the sport for a long time, and I'm not as good as the rest of these folks. So I've just got to drive to what I know I could do, lift when I need to lift, and hopefully everything works out. But, yeah, we're having a really, really good time.
All right, that's Chad Head. We're here at the Winter Nationals, and we wish you luck, my friend, and hope to see you with the March meet or the reunion. One of these nostalgia races. We'll help you out.
Yeah, I know. I need it. We've got 4 full-time guys. We've got 2 rigs, so trying to juggle that act and get it from race to race, and then dealing with the construction. It's tough, but hey, that's where I started, and I would love to be able to go back there and hang out.
All right, that's Chad Head, and you're watching Speed Scene Live.
Good interview, Donnie.
Yeah, well, Chad Head is a great guy to deal with, and second generation racer, and he's been running that nostalgia car, won the March meet when he first brought it out, and I don't know, I'm just going to throw this out there. There might be a little association with Chad Head's nostalgia funny car and the West Coast Funny Car Factory coming up for a future announcement. I'm just saying. Just saying, there could be something tied in there, folks.
Wow. Well,
Yeah.
Chad's really stepping up. If he's going West Coast Funny Car.
It's not inked in yet.
It's not chiseled in stone. Well, you know what is chiseled in stone? We got some great race dates. And, Bruce, give me some music. Give me some B-roll. Let's tell people what's going on. Fontana had their open house last weekend. We met the new track manager. We had a great time. I was very, very impressed with how great they've got that track set up. And this weekend, Saturday night, they've got their first street legal event of the year. And the following Sunday, this weekend, Test and Tune. So if you've been waiting to take your car to Fontana, this is your chance. Also, Donald Long's Lights Out race at South Georgia Motorsports Park is going on February 20th through the 23rd. The Holy Grail, a small tire racing. Great. In fact, Donnie, we're watching footage from last year's Lights Out race right now.
Hey, well, that looks pretty good. Pretty exciting stuff. But we got the March meet coming up, and I know you and Diana will be there with your new sponsor,
That's right.
Aeromotive. So people can come down there and meet Lucky and Diana in person. Maybe get an autograph, Lucky, and see the Novas they'll be racing, filming the event for Speed Scene Live. Bang Shift, of course, will be streaming live, and Dar and myself will be out there doing the interviews between rounds. And also coming up, March 14th through the 15th, St. Patrick's Classic at Virginia Motorsports Park.
Oh, that's a great track. March 22nd, the Spring Big Bucks race and swap meet over there at Richmond Dragway.
That's kind of hard to say that with a
It
mouthful
is a
of
little
cheesecake.
hard,
But
yeah.
DBR bracket race at US 43 Dragways, March 22nd, Lucky.
And, Bowling Green is one of my favorite tracks to race at. March 21st through the 23rd, Bowling Green will have their first 10-tuck bracket race of the year.
And how about the Union County Dragway has their first Friday night match race, March 28th, and the following day, the first points race of the season.
And the 28th through the 30th, NMCA West. They were going to be at Bakersfield. Now they've moved back down to Fontana. And we're going to have Cammie Edelbrock live in studio the week before. She's going to tell us all about NMCA West and all the events going on. So she'll be on the show the 25th. But on the 28th through the 30th, come on down to Fontana and race with the NMCA West.
How about Richmond Dragway? Pro Dial race is March 29th.
Man, Donnie, a lot of great racing going on. The season's gearing up. We got a track opening in SoCal, the March meet. Things are heating up. Man, it's looking like a really good season this year.
Yeah, it's already going to be a good season, and we're off to a good start. Of course, Dar and I will be here the Tuesday before the March meet, doing some previews. They had a test session that week, and we're going to have a little pre-race testing footage for you folks for that show. So.
Awesome. And I'll actually be at the track that night, so I'll let you know what's going on up there. Usually not much happening on Tuesday night, though, so I'll probably just kick back and watch the show with you and Donnie, you and Dart.
Yeah, I'm sure there'll be a margarita and a barbecue, something like that going
Cuban
on in
cigar.
in your pit area while we're working. We really care about the show, Bruce and I and Dar. I mean, you just take off all the time.
You know, there's a trailer that somebody leaves up there, and it's really easy to get the door open. And he's got Grey Goose, he's got cigars,
Wait
he's
a
got
minute.
all kinds of food.
That sounds like my trailer.
Man, and it's got all this furniture set up. It's so nice to hang out in.
Oh, okay. Now I got to double lock the thing. Is there a locksmith out there? Please call in.
Donnie, thank you so much for coming on the show. You did a great job. I loved all the interviews, and wow, what an action-packed show.
Hey, always on Speed Scene Live, we're getting great interviews from everybody, and we thank them all.
We'll see you guys next week right here. Remember, we got more guests, more interviews, more racing news, more. Those are our 3 favorite things. More, and more.
Man, that's a trio that I just cannot stop listening to. That's beautiful music. Coming up next, the encore presentation of tonight's show. Thanks for joining us. We're back next week right here.
Speed Scene Live TV, the #1 online motorsports TV show. Brought to you by Curry Racing Rear Ends, M&H Tires, and TheFote.com.